What is up, everyone, and welcome back to 90 in Ontario, League One's weekly YouTube series where we recap all the previous week's actions, give you highlights, preview upcoming games, and bring you interviews with players, coaches, and update you on any news and content regarding soccer in our province. This week we have tons to go over, so as we always start off, let's jump into the previous week's matches and highlights.
Woo! Bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. It's hard to yell when the barrel's in your mouth. Come on. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Hey. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Yeah. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Hey. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
VIP coming live from the VIP. Heard the nightlife, lost life without me. Most feds in the state wanna see my knee. The whole city got pissed, heard he got three. That other rapper got a hit, but shouted he not out.
Rush Canada Academy earned a decisive 5-2 victory over Oakville SC at 16 Mile Sports Complex in League 2 Ontario Men's Central Division action. Rush took early control of the match with Harky Sahoda opening the score in the 10th minute, followed by a strike by Gianluca Grubic 9 minutes later to make it 2-0 at halftime. Sahoda added his second of the day from the penalty spot in the 56th, seemingly putting the visitors out of reach. However, Oakville responded with urgency. Nathan Baker put one back in the 58th minute when Marcus Riviere brought the host within a goal in the 77th. Igniting hopes of a dramatic comeback. But Rush held firm and sealed the result late, with Chris Chavan scoring in the 86th and Akira Rocco adding another deep into stoppage time. The win propels Rush into second place in the division with 15 points from 8 matches, while Oakville slips to third, 1 point behind, but with an extra game played. Guelph United and FC London delivered an engaging game last Wednesday at Centennial Bowl in Guelph. Both teams came into the match with something to prove. Guelph was eager to rebound from a 4-1 loss to North Toronto, while London was desperate to break a 6-game scoring drought. Guelph wasted no time getting on the board. Just 7 minutes in, Violet Hipkin threaded a perfect through ball to Olivia Brown, who calmly slotted it past goalkeeper Samantha St. Croix, with a low finish to give the hosts an early lead. That goal would ultimately stand as the winner. London responded, however, with sustained pressure, driven by strong efforts from Chanessa Sealy, Valeria Jaimes Castillo, and Jada Arthurs, among others. However, Guelph's backline stood firm. Kate Naffel, Alana Starcevich, Tia Schaefer, and Emma Warren were rock solid at the back, limiting London chances and giving goalkeeper Hunter Jones a relatively quiet night. With the win, Guelph climbs to 6th place with 13 points, while FC London slips to 9th, still stuck on 6 points and searching for answers.
What a week! With 24 games over 7 days, League 1 Ontario fans across the province were treated to a magnificent set of games at an average of over 3 a day. Let's break it down together. Here's the League 1 laydown in 2 minutes or less. The Premiership kicked off Week 11 with a 2-game Tuesday. Simcoe County Rovers easily dispatched FC London 2-0, while the St. Catharines Roma Wolves also took down Scrosoppi FC, led by a brace by Diego Rivera. Sigma FC picked up 4 out of a possible 6 points on the weekend. They started off by drawing Alliance United at 3 apiece thanks to 2 late goals. They followed that up with a victory over FC London 2-1, leaving the Forest City's finest grasping for any hope to stay in the Premiership. The Burlington Bayhawks dropped 3 points due to a 3-goal loss to the Woodbridge Strikers. However, they later picked up those 3 points with a victory over the St. Catharines Roma Wolves, with Shirazi and Aspiro leading the charge. Scrosoppi FC surprised the league-leading Alliance United with a victory. Tommy Skublak opened up the scoring early, and although Alliance's Angelo Ventrella tied it in the 86th, Jacob Cabral stole the lead back only a minute later for the win. 2 early goals in the first 30 minutes by Oakville SC set the tone for their meeting with the North Toronto Nitros. Despite a valiant effort by the Nitros to match the host's goal tally, they were ultimately outdone 3-2. Week 11 of the Premiership rounded out with Vaughan visiting Simcoe County. The Azzurri were saved from being totally shut out thanks to an added time goal off the foot of Justin Santos, following 94 minutes of a Simcoe County Rovers lead. This ultimately led to the teams splitting the points. The championship has been equally engaging for fans, as the Sudbury Cyclones currently lead the division with 21 points. Despite this lead into the division, the Cyclones show that they are not impervious, letting in 6 goals over 2 games on the week. First, the Northerners went down 5-0 to Waterloo United, with both Ellis Hayden and Kane netting braces. Though later in the week, they did pick up a 2-1 win over Windsor on Saturday for those sweet 3 points. Guelph, on the other hand, saw a week of major success, picking up half their wins this season in just 3 days. First, they easily stole the show over York United 3-1 on Tuesday, while Friday brought with it another dub, this time over North Mississauga. Pickering shot up 4 places in the table with a 5-1 win and a 1-1 draw over Unionville Milliken and the York United Academy, respectively. The Borough FC have finally started showing signs of promotional promise as they climbed to 3rd in the league. This was in no small part thanks to Christian Kashishian, who netted 2 of their 4 goals on the week, beating the Panthers 3-1 and going even with Waterloo at 1. Masters FA, or the Saints, were the only team in the entirety of League 1 Ontario to pick up 6 points this week, taking down Whitby 2-1 and Hamilton United 3-0, both at home in front of great crowds. Finally, for the championship, Unionville Milliken closed out the week on Sunday with a 3-1 win over Whitby, marking that side's 8th straight game without a victory. League 2 action brought us a game apiece for each of the A sides in their respective conferences. The Rush Academy placed themselves 1 solitary point out of first in their conference with their 5-2 beatdown over Oakville L2. Harkey Sahoda's 2-goal performance led the charge.
He wants 2. Sahoda. And ooh, just tucked underneath the bar with pace.
Oppositely, both Cambridge United and Railway City failed in their quest for victory this week. The Railroaders fell 3-1 to FC London L2, matching the defeated vibes of their other 2 matches this month. This was all the while Cambridge United followed Railway City's trend from last week by getting clean-sheeted by the Roma Wolves L2 side. Only this time, Cambridge only lost by 2-0. Week 11 of League 1 Ontario wrapped up with some L1 Cup action, which saw Scrosapi FC secure their place in the quarterfinals thanks to a 3-0 crushing of Windsor City FC, eliminating their Southwestern Ontario opponents from cup contention. Scrosapi now move on to face the underdogs in North Toronto Nitros, with the 2 sides having yet to meet in 2025.
All right, thank you to our social media team for the highlights and recap. And following that, we also have our teams of the week for all of League One's divisions. So to see those, please check out our Instagram page at League 1 Ontario. Also, if you want to stay up to date with standings, when your favorite team plays, and live updates, download the League 1 Canada app, which not only covers Ontario, but all of the provincial leagues in Canada coast to coast from League 1 BC all the way to League 1 Quebec. Additionally, check out our website for any news articles along with the standings and game schedules as well. This week we have 2 special interviews to bring you, so before we get into the U20 Feature Player of the Week, our very own Noah Vogel sat down with St. Catharines Roma men's head coach Federico Turiziani. Now, without spoiling too much from the interview, Federico has been the head coach for Roma the past couple of seasons and brought a winning culture to the club that not only saw them get promoted to the Premier Division, but also compete with the best teams in Ontario. He has done a fantastic job so far, so kick back and enjoy the video.
Hey League One fans, I'm Noah Vogel and I'm joined today by the League One St. Catharines Roma head coach, Federico Turiziani. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
Of course. And I want to say, quick to start, congratulations on getting your UEFA license as of recent. And I want to talk to you a little bit about that and kind of what's the process going through that and maybe how accomplished and a big achievement you have now having that license.
Well, for sure, it's something that I'm trying to do it since a lot of years now, because it's not easy, especially in Italy. Go through this kind of license. There are a lot of players that play in Serie A, Champions League, national team that have more points because you have to do, there is the graduation to go through. So I'm very happy that finally after a years I had a chance to do it. Was very good to be part of this course because in Coverciano, the headquarters of Italian national team with a lot of professional players, a lot of coaches already coach in Serie B and in Serie A division. So was an amazing experience for me, and for sure now it's something that make me now in the condition to do to become a professional 100%.
Yeah, big achievement, and congratulations again.
Thanks.
And now I want to talk a little bit more about the team, and starting with last season and what a big promotion it was in that promotion playoff against Guelph. And I want to take it back to that game and maybe the emotion that you felt, because, wow, it was such a great moment, not only for the club, but I'm sure for you as well. Can you explain that for me?
You know, it's something that every time now I'm working on our pitch, in my mind I have the same kind of emotion. So I remember that night was amazing with a lot of people. The stadium was an amazing game because the way that we won is like a big night. 1-0 for us. 20 seconds left, they tied 1-1. We start to scared, so extra times and then PK. So you know what? When it happened that the team score the second part of the game, most of the times they win. In the history of soccer in general, and we're able to change this kind of direction, and we're right to win after the PKs. It was an amazing night in front of our people, something that I have in my heart for the community, for the Club Roma, for the players, and it's very hard to tell to everybody what means do this kind of victory, but yeah, for sure everything is in my mind.
And like you mentioned, did it in front of the fans here at Rinaldi Field. What does playing at home at Rinaldi mean to you?
It means that for some reason is a plus because a lot of people coming to watch and support, especially when we are on fire. They are a plus for us. Of course, there's more pressure, to be honest with you, because we know that everybody now, when they come to watch the game, they think that we're supposed to win. But it's not easy. It's not.
Exactly, yeah.
It's not like we go to the concert to watch the concert and. It will be nice for sure. So there are opponents most of the times they are stronger, and it's not easy. But yeah, for sure, for us is a plus to play here on the grass with our people. So it's something magic. The atmosphere is unbelievable. Every people that come to play here, they can tell you so the same. So I'm very proud to represent this club, Italian club, and I try to do my best to bring. These people happy and try to win more games possible here.
And now I want to talk a little bit about this season. And going into League One Premier, it's a big step, of course. And I think a lot of people maybe thought that your team may have not been ready going in, but clearly you guys have shown that you can compete with a lot of the best teams, especially with your results as of late. I want to know what your expectations were going into the season, and have they been met so far near this midpoint of the year?
You know what, after what we've done last year, I think our core, our players grow a lot in personality, experience. What we've done last year is something that changed our identity in a better way, for sure. That's why I was sure before the season that we can do something good. Of course, we implemented also with key players strong. We try to confirm the best player that we had last year, and recreated the same kind of group mentality and chemistry that allowed us to win last year. So right now I'm very happy for what they've done. We lost a couple points in the last 3 games, unfortunately, but the performance was there every time. We create a lot of chances. Sometimes we struggle to score, but for me it's important the team are right to create chances, opportunities, goal opportunities, because that's my job. But then of course the striker has to be better sometimes. But right now, after Scrossopi, we show to everybody that San Catherine is not just a team that play this league just to have a fun, let's say, but we can stay in this division. We can compete with this kind of stronger teams. That's our goal. Keep going and try to maintain the league, the category, and for sure do our best. That's our plan. Right now we are in a good mood, but we know that this division is very strong. We have to be careful, because if we cannot keep going to perform in the same way, we can struggle every game like we know. So I'm confident. We have to keep going to push and work hard if we want to be protagonists of this league.
And I want to talk, just one last question, is kind of something personal. And I know the amount of work that you do, not only with the men's team, but around the club as well. You kind of behold the club in St. Catharines, Roma. And for someone who may not know what the club means to a lot of the people and the fans and the players as well, I want to know if you could give me just one word that would describe the club as a whole. What would it be and why?
Identity. I think that's the word that, because all the teams, like you said, so start to become better. The girls, League 2 men's, so all the program are growing, and I think that means that we build an identity, not just under the coaching staff, but like a club in general, through the technical director, through the general manager, and the support that we have from the Club Roma in general. So that means created identity. Everybody, whoever come here, can understand what means this kind of word, identity, and that I think is the secret.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Federico.
Thank you.
And you can tune in every week, Thursday, when we have our League One show live on League One TV. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you to both Noah and Federico. It is great to see the success you have brought to Roma and hope to see the club reach the potential it has. Now, before getting into the U20 Feature Player of the Week, if you're enjoying the video, leave a like down below. Consider subscribing if you're loving it, and turn on the bell to get notified when your favorite team's videos get uploaded. Now, without further delay, join us as our very own Alex Balta sits down with Jason Cabral of Scrisoppi FC.
Welcome to this week's U20 Player Feature. Today we're excited to be joined by Jacob Cabral of Scrisoppi FC, our outstanding U20 Player of the Week. Jacob's been a regular in the Premier Division since 2023. Welcome, Jacob. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, son. And we're really excited to have you on. You're basically almost a veteran now with in League One, especially League One Premier. You've been around for so many years, which kind of brings me to my first question. You've been regularly playing in League One Ontario Premier since 2023, starting when you were just 17. How has competing at this level helped shape your development as a player?
It's been quite a journey. I started first with ProStars FC at 17, and it was actually with Johnny, who's my coach right now.
So yeah, you boomeranged back to him. Yes,
I did, yeah. So he called me up for a few games, and I played that season with him, and it was kind of like a breakthrough. It wasn't full minutes because I was just kind of getting on.
Did you play against Pickering when I was coaching?
I didn't, no.
No, I didn't. Okay.
No.
Keep going. Sorry.
You're good. So yeah, originally I was at ProStars. I made that kind of initial step, and it was, at the time, it was pretty like, this is pretty like difficult, to be honest. Just
the pace?
Yeah, pace, physical. And it was one of those things that I needed to get adjusted to. And the next year, Guelph United, that was kind of the first stepping stone, and I was starting most games week in, week out, and that was still an adjustment as well, just because it was the first proper year of playing in League One, and just tactics, physicality, and like pace of the game, hugely different.
So you say the major things that kind of helped you get better were the pace and then how physical the game is. Anything else, like certain players you played with, that, were you around any guys that like really helped mold your game or take it to another level?
Yeah, I would say there was a few guys on just like the university that also played on Guelph United that kind of helped me through. Gray Yates, one of them. He's a midfielder.
Player.
Yeah, he's a midfielder as well. So always trying to learn off him and do things that maybe he would do. Ask questions. Questions, I think, were one of the most important things, just because, experience, and these guys have been here for 3-4 years, and it was just my second year. So yeah, I would say just asking a lot of questions and trying to learn off older guys was pretty big.
Did you have any belief problems during that time, like when you were playing at the level? Did like confidence
Confidence
challenges?
for sure, just because it wasn't as consistent as I thought it was, just because one week you could be maybe playing against the worst team in the league. You might do decent, and then next team you're playing against Vaughan maybe, or maybe Skursopi at the time. And you play those teams, and it's just like these guys are like class. It's a huge jump from the bottom to the top, I would say.
Would you simplify your game in those matches against
For
like the
sure,
top?
yeah. 1-2 touches, I would say. Any extra touches usually get picked off, or you just end up losing possession or losing a chance to go forward. I would say, yeah, that was the biggest thing. And even playing at Skursopi now, trainings are like very high level. Everything's at the highest pace. It never drops. And there's like certain individuals, for example, Tommy, Josh, all like veterans who have played there a long time, and they know like all about League One, and they're veterans. So
Yeah, they help guide you. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, great. So kind of ties me into, you talk about your experience at Skursopi, but even you talk about playing at First Pro Stars, Skursopi, obviously Guelph United.
Yeah.
And you played both in the midfield and on the wing. Where do you think best suits you? And how do you adapt your game depending on which position you're in?
Personally for me, I'd say I enjoy the midfield a little more. Obviously tried both. Winger's something that's it's something I can do, but it's not necessarily a position that I'm totally comfortable with, just because
Yeah, why is that? Because you're very good on the ball, so that's why I'd be curious why you don't feel so comfortable there.
taking people on, I think's like one of my weaker parts of the game. I wouldn't say it's the worst part of my game, but it's something that maybe I don't have.
Can I tell you something quickly? When you were, I think in your rookie season at Guelph University, and I was coaching Brock, and we were hosting you guys at home. I think you played on your left wing in that game. You had blue cleats on, correct?
Yeah, I did.
And I remember, because I was just getting to know like you as a player, I was aware of you, but and you got out of a few situations individually, like 1v1, where I was like, woof, like, so just saying, I think you got more than you give yourself credit for.
Yeah, maybe confidence is a little low just on that side, but no, honestly, just playing in the midfield, I feel like is a position I'm so much more comfortable with, just
like distributing the ball.
Yeah, from as just all the way from a young kid to now, I've always played midfield, and it's just one of those things that I kind of molded to it.
Yeah, you feel at home when you're there versus on the wing. Yeah, you're right though, like, because when you play on the wing, you're kind of expected to, have more of those 1v1 duels, and and you need to have success. And if you're not confident enough, then you kind of just keep passing the ball back, or not being positive. So I get what you're saying. For sure. But I actually, again, I haven't worked with you, but from coaching against you, watching you, I think you could do it if you really wanted to.
Maybe.
So one performance that stood out for me last year when you talk about playing the middle was against Roma when you were on Guelph, and that was in the playoffs, to stay up in the Premier Division. And even though the result didn't go your way, you were constantly involved. I just remember you being all over the pitch, kind of like in a positive way. You were just everywhere, and the ball always went through you. I remember you guys must have had, I don't know, 10 corners, 12 corners, maybe it was 15. There was a lot of corners, and I think you distributed almost all of them, and just dangerous balls. I don't know how you guys didn't score a few more goals in those moments, but so you got great delivery. You showed that kind of quality, but the reason why I'm bringing all that up is So to give you a bunch of positives, you guys did lose the game. And then so you've now gone, because this is a familiar thing in League One where players move kind of from team to team. And just looking at your kind of career so far, can you talk about, what's your mindset after, for example, you lost at Guelph, how you moved on from Pro Stars to Guelph, and now you're back at Scursopi, because you're still playing at Guelph University, if I'm correct. So you could be still playing for Guelph United if you really wanted to. So yeah, just if you wouldn't mind talking about that journey.
Sure. Yeah. Starting at Pro Stars, obviously that was kind of my first step into League One. And I kind of made the jump to Guelph United. It was kind of like a situation where a lot of the guys were on the university, so I was like, why not? It's a good team. So joined Guelph United. Obviously, the season didn't go as planned. We got relegated, and we played in that match against St. Catharines.
It was a great game though to watch.
It was a good game.
Yeah, from a neutral's point of view.
Super. It was high intensity and it's a lot of nerves, but yeah, we ended up losing that game. So
Pens, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Pens, correct. And just career-wise, I was thinking what would kind of be best suited for me. And at that point, I didn't think that I was should have stayed at Guelph United and played championship. No disrespect to them, but I thought that it was just the right time to move on. So I contacted.
So to keep challenging yourself, to keep trying to play at that highest level.
Yeah. And I contacted Johnny and played some preseason games. Those went really well, and that was kind of a time where I was like, I can fit into this team, and I could.
Yeah, you've amassed a lot of minutes. So
yeah.
It's just fantastic.
Just career-wise, it was the best decision that I made, in my opinion, and I've been able to learn so much off the guys at Scursopi, and I think it's a really good decision, just because I'm trying to pursue being a professional maybe one day.
We're gonna talk about that in just a moment. So, which kind of brings me to I'm going to give you a little bit of a backhanded compliment here. So I think you have great quality and potential to reach the higher levels, professional level even. And when I watch you, the way you move, your first touch, the way you even walk, you look like a footballer to me, 100% a footballer. The way you strike a ball specifically, you strike it like a true footballer. And so do you ever feel like you haven't fully shown how good you really are yet? So an example I'll give is you just scored your first goal this season, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, against Alliance. Were you on the wing on that goal?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Okay, so just saying, it was a great fake. I teach with youth players in grassroots fake chops all the time, especially in the box area, and so a lot of times I see goals in League One. I'm like, oh, it's decent. Your goal was fitting that it could have came from a professional game in terms of the quality. It was a lot of quality. You faked a shot with your left, brought it to your right, buried it home. To get the winner. I think that was the winner, if I'm not mistaken. And what do you have to say? When I say, do you think you've shown everything? Do you think you're capable of more? Is nerves part of it?
I think I still have a lot more to give, to be honest. Just capability wise, I think I could be a better all-around player, just in terms of attacking, goal contributions. That's kind of been something.
So let me add to that. Then do you come away from games and go, I really could have done that, but I should have taken my space here, or you had the correct decision in your head, but you didn't do it because you're maybe, wasn't 100% confident in that moment. Those kind of things go through your head after a game.
Yeah, for sure. I'm always trying to push myself to be more of an attacking player. I think that's something that's kind of been it's been a little bit lackluster in my game.
Because you definitely have the quality. There's no honestly, and people know me well enough. They know I don't speak fluff. I just tell it like it is. So So really what you're saying, because I can relate, like I understand it from my days playing, is sometimes, don't have necessarily the confidence to kind of show this is how good I am. Because I think, for example, when I saw you in the Roma game, I think you were the guy that relied upon a lot in the midfield.
Yeah.
And for that game, it was great playing in that game too.
He was, yeah.
He was. So you two guys combined, but what I mean is you had ownership.
Yeah.
And I saw that, so I'm like, yeah, this guy. And then, and then you see little windows of it, like that goal you scored against the Lions. So from a coaching standpoint, all I'm going to say is you got to believe, man. You got to believe, because I think you definitely can do it. Okay?
Yeah.
And that takes us to our last question. So looking ahead, what are your goals for next year? How do you see League One in Ontario helping you get there? And you talk about playing pro, so just give us a little bit of a snapshot of what's going on in your head.
Yeah. I'm trying to have a good season, obviously, this year. Accumulate a lot of minutes and do well, obviously individual, but also on a team standpoint. Just doing well in the league obviously gives us a lot of exposure as a team and as individuals too. So I think that doing well would be something that could possibly open doors, just because League One's such a fast growing league, and it's next up to CPL, and CPL teams are always kind of on the lookout for maybe younger players that have shined in League One and are ready to take the next step. So I think that CPL is something that I do want to try to move on to. Maybe it won't be next year, maybe it'll be the year after, but I think that I'm kind of in a good position to put myself there.
Well, I'm vying for you, and I really do hope I see you get to that next level, because I think you do have the capabilities to do it. So, but thank you for coming on, Jacob. It was a pleasure talking with you, and good luck with the rest of the season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Take care.
See ya.
All right, thank you to both. And with that, we could finally look forward to this upcoming week where the interviews do not stop. As for the games of the week, we are sitting down with all of the coaches to preview the action. So let's jump right into it with both Carlisle Fazette and Azaz Sheikh.
Peter, thanks for making time today to chat with us about the season so far for Woodbridge, the only undefeated team left in the Premier Division right now. How are you feeling about the season so far?
I think it's a great start. I know it's only 8 games into the season, but after all the changes that we had to make this season, either players retiring, players going to a different club, so we're pretty happy where we are at the moment.
Depending how things go, you could move into first place, depending on the results this weekend. How much of that, as we get into the midpoint of the season, are you, starting to maybe even set expectations of really challenging for a title this year?
Well, every game's going to be difficult. Going to St. Catherine, they play on grass. They have a good atmosphere out there. It would be great to come out with a win. Definitely will put us on top. So it's going to be really a challenge. From now on, knowing that we are fighting for first place, everybody's going to get up to play us, So basically, we just need to be ready, because there's no easy games, really.
The fact that Woodbridge now challenging for first place and maybe expectations coming into the season, are you surprised at where you're at in the table? Is this where you expected to be?
If you asked me at the beginning of the season, we'd be fighting for first after 8 games, I would say I don't think so. But we know that with the players, then after building the team, and I started noticing the exhibition games and some of the kids that came back from school, that would have a good team. Definitely, so is this a team to win the championship, the league? It's hard to say at the beginning of the season. But I would say right now we have a good young team that love to play together, and it's got a good chemistry among the players. They all get along well, and that's important. So sometimes when you build teams, you have different mentality of players. And I find that this group here has been great.
So I'm pretty happy for how we started. Besides the last game at home, unfortunately in front of a lot of people, Sunday night we lost against Burlington. We were a little bit under pressure for the environment. To be honest, that's I think affected our performance. But in general, I'm happy for what they've done. We beat just 4 or 5 days ago Scrossopi that last year they won. So I have to be happy and proud for my boys. Of course, now is the moment to try to keep going to work and make some points because behind, especially the team start to make points. We have to keep going to win and to be better for the future.
You're coming up against Woodbridge, who you've already played this season, a 2-2 draw. Do you feel like you've learned something to take into this match against them, knowing that you've already played them once this year?
So Italian derby, let's say, between the two Italian clubs, so that's is good. And we are very excited to host them here in Club Roma, even if we play during the day. We already played with them. They are very strong, to be honest. They are top of the table, potentially, because they have to play games. And I think they are completed. They are strong in all the lines. For us, will be a very big challenge. But we have done a great second half over there when we tied 2-2. For us, it was an easy comeback after 2 goals down. So I think we know they are strong, but also we know that we can create problems to them. 3 points make us our table better, and we can start also to do some dream. Why not?
I like it. We can leave it there, Federico. Thanks so much for doing that.
Thank you, Dr.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the upcoming Game of the Week feature. I'm looking at the women's game between NDC Ontario women versus Waterloo United women this Friday, June the 20th, at the Zanchin Automotive Centre at 9 p.m. Now, look, this is 2 teams. It's one big night, Friday Night Lights. Let's hear from the coaches. So first up, we have Melissa Big, interim head coach of the NDC Ontario women. Now look, NDC come in as defending champions. They're 1 point off the top, joint best goal difference, and second most goals scored. So Melissa, you heard my little intro. Your squad does look dangerous again this year. How would you rate your side's performances through the first stretch of the season?
They've been playing great. I think to total we've had either 11 to 12 different goal scorers in the league so far. So the players are playing well. The offense is flowing. They're finding the back of the net. So the confidence is high when it comes to that as well.
And it's almost like you read my next question, which viewers, she didn't. I was just going to say, you've had a lot of different players contributing to goals. What's been the key to that consistency attacking wise?
I think just allowing players different rotations. So we've had different lineups, allowing players different types of opportunities. And I think that's been helping with the confidence and just allowing them that free flow in the offense. So it's been positive so far. The last week has been really good as well. I know we're in a stretch of 4 games in 9 days. So look forward to bringing it again Friday night, sorry.
Now Friday night. So the tag of defending champions, does that add pressure, or is that something that the group embraces week to week? It sounds like that it drives them a bit further.
Yeah, they embrace it. I think first and foremost, they're looking forward to their development. So really focusing on that and focusing on the process, and those results will come with it.
Now, your opponents this week, they've proven themselves in the women's championship and are adjusting to life in the Premier Division. What are you expecting from their side?
Yeah, they've been doing extremely well this year, especially coming up in their first year. They've had some good results. The first time we played them, they're extremely organized. It was a challenge to defend offensively to break them down. I think it took us until like the 87th minute. So we expect them to be organized. They have some talented players, so they'll be a threat offensively as well. But yeah, we're excited for the challenge on Friday.
And any particular focus heading into this match? Any specific areas you're looking at improving or sharpening up, or business as usual for you?
Just business as usual. Just continuing to build on the confidence the players have been playing with, and continue to pushing forward within the season. I think we're like the halfway point, so finishing the back half strong as well.
Amazing. Thanks for your time, and we're looking forward to the game.
Yeah, really appreciate it. Thanks again.
And now we're here with Greg Jesperson, head coach of Waterloo United Women. Now, Greg was the 2024 Coach of the Year in the Women's Championship, and Waterloo are in their debut season in the top flight and are pushing to establish themselves. Greg, how you doing? How's it going so far?
Great, Azaz. Thank you for this interview.
Amazing. So first season in the Premier Division, what's your assessment of how the group has adapted so far?
I think the results that are currently in the table after 10 games would say that we're holding our own. The step up from the championship into the Premier Division has been significant. The quality is significantly better. There are no easy games. And I think that after 10 games, sitting where we are mid-pack is a testament to the hard work everybody has put in, but also the quality of the squad.
Very cool. Now, this one's going to be a challenge tomorrow, Friday under the lights. You're coming up against the defending champions away, and they're in strong form too. What kind of challenge are you expecting from NDC?
NDC is well coached to start with. The organization of the squad, how they play, is very consistent. I would say that they're very organized, but beyond that, they have very high quality in terms of the overall depth of the squad. There aren't any players there who don't belong. They're fast, they're aggressive, they're technical, they're well coached. It's an enormous challenge for any team who faces them because they counter press hard. They're very organized in their attack. They have multiple players who can put the ball into the back of the net, and they don't give up. They fight right till the very end, and we'll probably get into a little bit of other things, but in our first game we held them until the 87th minute, and then they still found an opening and finished it in the 87th minute. So a big challenge will be to play with concentration and discipline for the full 90 minutes.
So what's your message been to your players then as you face them, particularly on an attacking side for them, because they're able to find goals from everywhere? Is there anything in particular you're focusing on?
Can't really give you the match plan, but in general, I would say that the ability to maintain concentration for the 90 minutes plus is going to be key to stick to the game plan. And I referenced earlier our first game against them, and we were able to go toe to toe with them up until the 87th minute. And again, it just takes one small moment of lack of concentration, or someone's not quite in the right place, and they find a way to score. And so, we can take our initial steps from there, and we understand that we have the quality to be able to play with them, player for player. We have some very, very strong players ourselves who have played in a diverse range of backgrounds at very high levels. What we need to do is to be able to stay together for that full 90 minutes and take the opportunities that present themselves when they do.
And now look, you've had such a steady, actually promising start to your league campaign, and some standout individual performances in those. Any players you think that could be the key to this matchup for your side?
This is an interesting time for my team in particular, because we started the year missing probably half of our squad just because they were in different places. Many of them played down in the United States in Division I schools. Some were overseas. We had an injury just prior to the first NDC game, the final training before, our number one goalkeeper ruptured her ACL in training, and we had to find replacements very quickly. And one of the players that I think has been incredibly impactful is Claire Wyville, who has come to us now. We picked her up after Natalie Meridian injured her ACL, and she's been a standout player, and she's been cited in team of the week a number of times, and we're looking for a good game from her. We've also picked up just fortuitously over the last couple of weeks, Abby Kramer has returned to us, and where she was playing professionally over in Portugal in the first division on the women's side of things, and she's been a return for us. Emma Oliphant, who was at Canisius, an all-star at Canisius, has returned. And we've added Samantha Murphy from Woodbridge. Samantha lives in our area, and I believe the trip back and forth to Woodbridge was just becoming quite a lot for her, and so she was transferred to our squad. And so those players in particular, have the experience and the quality to make a difference for us.
And last one to wrap us up, Ben. You were the coach of the year last season in your division. What's been the biggest coaching adjustment for you coming up to this level?
Oh, so many things, Azaz. The quality of the league is incredible. There isn't a poor team in the league, regardless of where people are in the standings. Everybody knows how to play, and all the coaches know how to coach. And so there are no easy games. Not only that, there are no easy portions of the games where teams switch off, or you feel like you can dominate possession at any phase of the game. The quality is there across. The tactics that are used, the shifts within each of the games, it does your head in sometimes. And so just being able to step up and run with the pack has been an incredible accomplishment for our squad thus far.
Awesome. Well, best of luck tomorrow. I know it's going to be one hell of a game, and we're excited to feature it next week's show. This week, we got to chat to you, and I would love to have you back on for a longer segment as well, just from the perspective of some of the coaching nuggets that you dropped today. But thank you for your time today, and good luck for this game.
Thank you for your time, Azaz.
Okay, thank you to all the coaches for taking the time to sit with us. We wish all the teams nothing but the best and look forward to another thrilling weekend full of matches. But with that being said, that is all we have for you this week. Thank you for joining us. Hit the like button below if you've enjoyed the video. Consider subscribing if you've loved it, and hope to see you all pitchside.